Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I am going to talk to you about some of my top 5 set basketball plays against a man-to-man defense. So hello everyone, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training. If you're new to this channel, on this channel I show you basketball plays, drills, and skills. So if you like that stuff, hit that like button and subscribe. But anyways, today, what I'm going to talk to you about is some set basketball plays. These are not motions where it resets itself. This is a set play where basically you run the play and it's done. So just make sure that if you're running with a shot clock, these plays might be for you. If you're not really running with a shot clock, you might want to run over to a motion type of offense, but it's up to you. But again, a set basketball play, these are going to be not exactly very simple plays. These are going to be a little bit closer to the advanced. Later on in a few weeks, I will be, or even maybe in a few days, I'm not quite sure yet, I will be going over some basic set plays as well as some more advanced set plays. These are kind of mediocre in the middle. So let's get down to the clipboard and let's check these out. Okay, so here we are down on the clipboard, and first what we are looking to run is for a set 3-point shot out in this corner. Now, of course, we can run it for this corner as well. It would just be the opposite for the opposite side. So what we are first going to have is player 4 setting a screen for player 2, who is going to use that screen. Now, he could cut along the baseline, he could cut behind the play, he could also cut in front. It depends on where player 4 has screened for him, but also where player 2 is looking. So just keep that in mind for that player. If he cuts back door or even in front, it doesn't matter. Definitely look for him for a layup. That is definitely something that you're going to like. Now, once he is down there, let's say player 2 was not able to get stuck by that screen and he was able to get around as well. Now, player 2 is going to be setting up a screen here with player 5. This is going to be a staggered screen for player 3. Player 4 is going to be popping out, and player 1 is going to pass to player 4. If player 4 isn't open, let's say player 4 red is really playing him tight, what we're going to have now is instead of popping out, he's going to go and set a screen for player 1. It doesn't matter, either player 4 is going to have the ball out there or player 1, and player 3 is going to run the baseline. He's going to be using 5 and 2 as a screen. And he's going to be popping out to the 3-point line or to the mid-range where he can shoot his shot. Now, what we are hoping for is for this to be an open 3-point shot for player 3. Now, this play can run into a 5-out if you get stuck, if nobody was open, and the set play was broken. You can still stretch into a 5-out for your motion offense. I always personally like running a motion offense out of a set play. That's me personally. But every coach is, of course, different. Now, in our second set play, we have ourselves a horns offense, and what we will start with is having player 4 setting a screen for player 5, who's going to cut towards the rim. Of course, if he's open, hit him up for a layup. But if he's not open, he's going to go and set a screen for player 3, who is then, player 4 needs to clear out, by the way. And player 3 is going to be going and cutting down towards the middle of the key. Now, if he's open, definitely hit him up for that 3-point shot. Now, if he is not open, what's going to happen now is player 3 is going to set a screen for player 2. Player 5 is going to turn around and set a screen as well. Player 2 is going to then either cut in front or behind, and he's going to be using player 5 and player 3 as a screen. Player 1 is going to dribble over to this side where player 2 may be able to shoot the 3-point shot. As you see here with all of my set plays, I have a mixture of getting the ball into the key as well as options to get the ball out to the 3-point line. The reason is, let's say player 2 is out here, player 3 was able to get that ball into the key, and let's say player 2 dropped down. Now we have a defense that is collapsing, and what we have out here is now an open player 2 or possibly an open player 4, depending on what these two defensive players are doing. This is a strategy that many teams use to get easy shots from the perimeter, and the Raptors definitely use that this year as well if you get to watch any of their games. I did make a video on that yesterday if you want to go check that, or not yesterday, the other day, a couple of days ago if you want to go check that out. Now in our third set play, this is one that is used quite often, and what we will have is player 5 running up, setting a screen on player 1. Player 1 is going to use that screen. Of course, he could take that shot, but player 5 is going to roll towards the basket. Player 1 is going to pass player 5 the ball, and now what we are hoping for is player 5 to have an open lane to the basket for the layup. Now, if he's covered, or maybe there's a possible double team, or maybe some players who are sagging off, now you have multiple options for players who are open at the perimeter, or even possible players going in for layups who are very close. This could be an alley-oop or a possible bounce pass, depending on what player 5 is able to do. So there's a few options for you in this offense as well. Now, in our fourth play, of course, this is a little bit on the easier side, but what we will have is, player 3 will set a screen on player 1. Player 1 will use that screen, and what will happen now is player 3 will then roll towards the basket. While player 3 is running to set that screen, what we are going to have is player 5 and player 4 spreading out, clearing out the key, so that now if player 3 is open, we're going to pass player 3 the ball, hopefully for the layup. But what we are hoping for, either a three-point shot or a layup. But if player 3 gets that ball inside, and let's say player 4 comes down to cover him for help defense because he was wide open to the basket, now we have possible opportunities to pass out to player 4 who could take the shot, or if he gets covered, the extra pass for the shot. There's multiple different options coming out of this as well. I know that this is a very simple set play, a very simple screen and roll, but what I like to teach to my players here is to make sure that when they get the ball into the key, if they get covered, always look for the extra pass. Have your head on a swivel so that you're seeing the court. Now, in our fifth and final set basketball play, what I'm going to show you is something that's going to be quite long of a play. So first, what we're going to start with is having player 4 setting a screen for player 2. Player 2 is going to use that screen, and he's going to go up and screen for player 1. Player 1 is going to use that screen, and let's say player 2 red just fought through, and player 4 rolled towards the basket. Player 4 would be an option for the layup. Now, what's going to happen here is player 1 is going to dribble over to the free throw line extended. If player 4 isn't open for that layup, he's going to go and continue through and set a screen for player 3. Player 3 is going to use that screen. He can go underneath or over top. It doesn't matter. Personally, I personally as a player always went underneath. Yes, we ran this play when I was a kid. And when we popped out, he might be open for a layup. Now, this is a huge opportunity. We generally, 65% of the time, I would say, probably scored from there. But if player 3 is covered, he is going to continue through. Player 4 is going to continue out. And now what we're going to have is player 5 hasn't really moved. If he did move, he'd move out maybe a little bit. It's up to him. But we would then have player 2 setting a screen for player 5. And player 5 has 3 different options. He can cut in towards the rim, he can pop for a mid-range shot, or he can pop for a three-point shot. It's totally up to him. But this is our final set. He either drives mid-range or 3. Those are the 3 options for him, and hopefully he gets our points. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe. I post new videos every single day. So up in this corner is going to be a suggested video from YouTube. Up in this corner is a subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily basketball video. So I'll see you guys there. Also, Tuesdays and Thursdays is individual skills training for basketball players. So I'll see you guys then as well.